Well, good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday. It's August 8th. We're got August 1st behind us and cruising through the month. I hope you're having a continued great summer. I know many of us are adapting to possibly school schedules, people going out to school, out to new work. Regardless, we're elated that you've had a chance to join us today. Pete Van Overwall with me, Dr. Sandra Metzger. Sandra, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm trying to get in here on our LinkedIn site. Hope everyone else can get in. I'm
Wonderful.
excited to talk about AI today.
Yes, long awaited. Well, welcome everybody. Today's mission that you've accepted is starting with AI. And we're going to make it simple. We're going to make it fun. We're going to
Schedules,
explore
people.
together. And as I've gotten to know Sandra in the past 2 years since our relationship began, I've just been amazed by her depth of knowledge in this space. And this is before AI became a thing. And that's what I'm really impressed. You come across every now and then some people that have that pedigree and that perspective. And as we're sorting through probably what may feel a lot of noise about people saying, like, hey, learn about AI. I truly do believe and hope that this experience will be different for you and something that can really stick and make a difference. So, Sandra, you have 21 activities to grow your Gen AI skills. Are we going to cover all those today?
No, I wish we could. And I would love to spend the whole day doing AI with our listeners, but unfortunately, no. So I've just picked some of my favorites, but everyone will walk away today with a link to the document or to the resource that gives you those 21 activities to help you get started.
That's great. So, just to whet your appetite for dessert, whether you're having lunch right now or not, we're going to give you that as a deliverable at the end of our session today. So, our time will go fast. Let's jump right in. A tremendous fact that Sandra shared with me before our session today is that GPT-5, the model, is now launched, right? And that means all prior versions will be sunsetted. So if you're not yet in ChatGPT, this may be new to you. Great, join the ride, hop on. But if you've been used to other prior models and versions, they have gone because the pace of the functionality, the quality, and what it can do for us is happening quickly. So this just
Yeah.
really reinforces that our learning curve is continuous. Now, that being said, we're so delighted you're part of this experience with us. Adapt to accelerate growing in the flow of work. If you've been in any of our past sessions, hopefully you've met Sandra and I. We will spare the introductions there so we can get to the heart of the matter. But today really is all about practice and exploration. So that being said, just a reminder, if you are joining us for the first time, I was amazed when I learned a recent Forbes article that said 41% of leaders and professionals today who want to learn to drive their career growth simply don't have time. And as a community builder, an educator, Sandra and I share that in common. We felt that was just wrong. We wanted to fix it. We wanted to create short, simple, sweet, high impact learning experiences fitting into the flow of your work. We hope that by Friday, you're taking some time for yourself. Possibly you wake up saying, oh, the weekend's almost here. So you're in a positive state of mind. So, with that, joining us here, we get a chance to influence you, provide some practical insights. I'm a reflective person. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. But as you go through your weekend, you might have some time where your mind goes back to what the week looked like. We would invite you, if you're in that space, to think about what you've been exposed to today. That's where the seed begins to grow into new ideas. Point being is you go into your workday on Monday, if it starts then, with a sense of application, of growth, of forming and starting a new behavior. So this pattern has been intentional, and it's the way in which we engage you today. So I would like to, first of all, welcome you to drop in the comments. Just say a quick hello. I'd love to know what country you're from, because we do have some global attendees, what state, what city, and if you're local, even what neighborhood, as you wish. Feel free to drop in there. We will share comments back and forth. And if you have any questions, let us know. If we're tight on time, we'll more than likely follow up with you offline. All right, Sandra, take us away.
All right. Well, I am going to tell you first about what we're doing. And this is my uh, simplest explanation. Okay. And what I did is, I'm not an artist, but I drew a picture. Now, this is very low tech. It required paper and a Sharpie. But with all the technology, it's really helpful to actually draw a picture. Now, don't worry, we're going to get this back into technology in a second. But what I want you to know is that we're going to look at this picture right here. I drew it. Here's my Sharpie. And so as I share my screen here, you will see that I took a picture of it and I uploaded it. And I'm worried here that when I share this, no, it doesn't let me switch. Let me do this one more time. I only had one window. So let's see here. Share screen one more time. Window, entire screen. Okay,
That,
how's that
that
look?
looks great.
Okay, great. Well, here is what's happening. Now, again, we're doing the basics today, and I think that that's really important to remember. I've asked some people to join or to listen to this recording to give me feedback on how this message comes across for a beginner. So, as a educator, learning experience designer, the beginner's mind is a fantastic place to get really good data, right? And to think about. So if you are a beginner, this is for you. If you are an expert, you probably have gone way past this and maybe you don't even know what's going on behind the scenes. That's okay. But it's likely that the way that you're explaining how things work is a little over the heads of people who um, aren't experienced with it. So let's talk about, in really simple terms, what's happening. Here you see a person. That's my smiley face. And the big deal that makes all of this possible now is natural language processing. So our artificial intelligence, which has been in the works since the 40s, 1940s, has been in an effort to create machines, computers that think and simulate human thinking. Okay. So, one of the most important things that we do as humans is communicate and how we communicate with natural language. So, there was a really big breakthrough with computers actually being able to process natural language instead of just the zeros and ones and codes that it uses. And so now we can use our language. And by the way, like over 90 languages it's really good at, and it just keeps adding to it, but pretty much any language. You can use your language, your natural language, to prompt, plus any data that you want to go with that prompt. And I'm talking about files like docs and tables, pictures, videos, websites. Any of that other data combined with our natural language goes into what we see, which is the user interface. A lot of us are using things like ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity. You might have an app on your phone. If you're on Facebook and you have the little AI thing, that's your interface. That's the part of the software that's making it easy for you to interact with. Behind the scenes, it's taking all of that and sending it to an AI model that isn't working all by itself. There's other tools that are with that AI model. Things like data interpretation, um, web searching, visual analytics. It's really the engine, and there's a whole bunch of things working behind there. And those models are what keeps changing, right? So for example, when Pete said GPT-5 is the new model. And by the way, the old models aren't being sunsetted yet, but they are going to be. So the models are things that have been trained, and the training is different than programming. What we have been used to is programming, where we go into a software system and when we push a button, it does XYZ because it was given the rules to do XYZ. Now we are interacting with essentially a machine brain. And that brain has been learning. It does have some rules that it's supposed to follow, but it learns by just going back and forth with the data, getting feedback, failing, trying again. And it can do it on everything that's out there, everything that it's been given. So how smart would you be if you could read and remember every single book that has ever been written? Right? We'd be pretty smart. So that's the models, and each big company is creating their own models. Some of these models are closed, as in nobody else knows how they're working. Other models are open, and you can just go and download them to your computer and make your own little interface and make your own little chatbot. So this is how this is so different right now. Okay, so we're going to go back, and I want to tell you that I uploaded this picture, right, into ChatGPT. So this is ChatGPT. I'll show you in just a minute, kind of give you the lay of the land. But what I did was I uploaded the picture, and then I said, I drew this to help explain in simple terms. Explain what you see. And it's always so complimentary. Great visual. And then here's a breakdown of your diagram. So first of all, I double checked that it understood what I was saying or what I was trying to say. And so it did a really good job. I love this summary. You, the user, provide a prompt and data. That goes through a user interface like ChatGPT or Gemini. The interface passes it to the AI model. The model processes it and sends it back. And then you see the result and possibly respond, continuing the loop. And it becomes a dialogue. It's not just a one-time thing. It becomes a dialogue. What I really love about ChatGPT is that I can come up here and hit the share button, create a link, which I already did, and I will post that. But here's what happens if you access that link. You can continue this conversation. I won't see your chat, but you will get to piggyback on what I started. So I told it, hey, I want you to be able to answer any questions. So today, when you access that link or later, you can follow up with any questions, anything that you don't understand, anything you want more explanation to. And notice it says, would you like me to turn this into a slide or handout? I said, not yet. No, thank you. But you can if you'd like. So go ahead and take this quick little lesson and expand it however much you want. And also don't forget to take this whole process and try it out for yourself. Do you have an infographic that doesn't make sense? Do you go into an unfamiliar building and need some directions in the building, and you take a picture of the map and have it walk you through where you're going? Think of all the things that you could take a picture of or show it, upload a picture, and get it to assist you in understanding that visual data. Okay, so here we go. This is a free version of ChatGPT. And in the free version, you have some options. You can upgrade. Of course, they want you to upgrade. But this, if you do upgrade, has some different things that you can do. I'm going to give you a lay of the land of ChatGPT and Gemini really quickly. So here's ChatGPT. This is our prompt window. You notice that it says, hey, gives you some ideas of things that you could do. I can also, if I don't want to type, I can actually text or speech to text and have it do that. We can also do voice, and I'm going to show you that a little bit later. I can also add photos. ChatGPT last week launched their study and learn. So if you have a student or you are a learner and want to practice, it really is just saying, it's giving some parameters to how the AI engages with you. And so it's not supposed to just give you answers. It helps you study and learn, create image, think longer. That one has some characteristics of reasoning, and it will take a little bit more time. So sometimes the fact that it does so much so fast makes us nervous. And we're like, hey, could you slow down just a minute and think a little bit longer? Deep research. This works great for researching best flights to Colorado, or best practices for um, um, change management. There are other things on there as well. So once you start a chat, you can have the share. You can search your chats. I often get into chats and I think, when was I talking about that? But what's really nice is that you have so many tools. It keeps a list of your chats, and you can go in and just pick up right where you left off. I'm going to go back to one that I did at a workshop for Ed that Pete and I are both a part of. So we don't have time to do this live today, so let me just show you. This is the chat that I did, I don't know, a month or so ago. And I asked the audience, it was a live audience, asked the audience for 3 separate things. Water bottle, this is what they shouted out. Water bottle, chicken nugget, red Corvette. And then I asked it to tell a joke out of these 3 objects. So the joke was, why did the chicken nugget ride in a red Corvette with a water bottle? Because it was thirsty for adventure and wanted to dip out in style. And then it gave the emojis and said, want it spicier? I can try a different tone. And we played around with that for a while. Now, this is a great way to engage kids or older people, maybe, tell jokes. But the point of me doing this particular chat is not for comedy. The point is that this AI model, the one that was being used here, which is, I believe was the 4.0, it can take 3 separate, completely different things, bring them together, find a combination of commonality, and combine them into something that makes sense for us. It can iterate, it can go back and forth. It took my feedback, and so you might be telling a joke, but you also might be thinking, we really have to figure out what is causing our customers to do something. Here is a whole bunch of data. We can't find the patterns. Can you find the patterns? That's a really great application, right? So it can see so much information. It can make connections. It can create things and find things that are harder for us to see. And in this way, it is quite creative. Okay, so that is ChatGPT. Let me switch over really quickly to Gemini. Now you'll see I like the dark screen on these, but I think it's pretty easy in your settings. You can switch it to the light view. Also in your settings, you can do things like tell them your name is Sandra, and so it uses your name. Remember that we're working with a machine. It is not a human. It simulates human responses, those user interfaces. This one looks like a computer, but things like Instagram and Character AI are putting that interface into avatars and human-like. I mean, they're in robots. And I think it's really important that we continue to remind ourselves that we're interacting with a machine and not a human, no matter how human-like it gets. So one of the things in my settings in my pro account for ChatGPT is I say, don't ever pretend with me that you are a human. You are not, right? So that's something that matters to me, and I've put that in my settings for how I want it to behave with me. I do let it call me Sandra, though. All right, so Gemini is very similar, as you can see. We have a prompt, we have tools here. It also has a deep research. It has a thing called Canvas, which is really fun. It makes things. Each of these interfaces are, again, using a different, built on top of or using a different LLM or large language model with all the different tools. And so it acts differently. You have to get to know it. Some are really good at things and some are not good at other things. In Ethan Mollick's article that he posted yesterday after having tested ChatGPT 5 for a while, said that it was really cool, right? It's doing all of these things. But you reminded the readers that it was only 8 months ago when it couldn't count how many R's were in strawberry. So the other thing you have to remember is as you get to know it, it continues to learn and improve whatever AI you are using. And so it requires us to have continuous learning and getting to know. Just like you teach a child to do something, that child continues to learn, and every now and then it does or says something that surprises you, like, I did not know you could do that, right? That's how AI is. It's a learning machine and will continue to do that. So let's have this generate an image for us. This is always fun. I like doing things that are a little bit kind of random. So let's pick, I see a duck over here, a duck taking pictures at college drop off, because I see that all over my Facebook right now with a sad mom. Let's see what it does. Okay. So generating pictures is also getting so much better. And another thing that I want to share, and this is something that I do when Pete and I do bigger, more in-depth training. Oh, sad mom, duck taking pictures. Okay, not too bad, right? Now, if I were a photographer, I would know how to explain the picture I want. I don't. I'm not a good photographer. So another thing that you can do when you're like, I'm not really an expert and I don't know how to prompt it, write a prompt to help me get, I'm going to take off the image real quick before I forget. Better picture next time. Okay. So again, anytime you're like, I don't know enough, or I don't know what to do, or I don't know how to do that, you are interacting with one of the most intelligent things on our planet. So you're only limited by your effort and your imagination. So I just made a little extra effort to say, you help me, right? All right. So now I'm going to do the image. Oops. Here we go. Generate prompt 1. I don't even have to retype it. It sees it. It knows it. And we'll wait for that. But think about that process, even with this fun image. When you get something back that you don't think is great, oh, so that's a little bit different. Okay, you can iterate and you can improve, and you don't have to do it by yourself. You can, whatever it is you're working on, you can get help from the AI itself to work better with the AI. Okay, I think, Pete, that we are at the place where I'm going to stop sharing my screen and just go back to my my screen, and everyone can hear me. We're going to do one voice activity, and then we'll finish up for today. See how fast the time goes? All right. So I like using both Gemini and ChatGPT on my phone. I also use Copilot, and then I use a tool called Magi. All right. On my phone, I am going to use this little button that has the voice, and this is on your computer one as well. Hi, I am so overwhelmed today because I have meetings, I have a long to-do list. I don't even know where to start. Can you help me?
Sandra. Let's take it step by step. We'll keep it professional and focused on a growth mindset. So to start, how about we clarify your top priorities and break down that to-do list into more manageable chunks? Once we do that, we can also discuss a couple of different perspectives on how to tackle your meetings efficiently. Let me know if that sounds good, or if you had any specific part you want to start with.
Ooh, that still seems overwhelming. Can you run me through a couple like breathing exercises first?
Of course, let's definitely start there and make it a bit lighter. So one really simple and calming exercise is the 4-7-8 breathing technique. We can do it together right now.
Okay, so that was my I use the voice interaction. It does have a little bit limited things, like it won't generate an image when you're just doing the dialogue back and forth. But oh my goodness, both Pete and I talk a lot about how often when we're in the car, we can get hours worth of work done going back and forth with our super intelligent assistant who can look up stuff, create things, we can just brainstorm. Sometimes I'll just go for a walk and just dump everything out, and I'll say, don't interrupt me, just listen to everything I have to say, and then we're going to organize all of that. It can do feedback, it can do all of these things, right? So that is work. It can also be super fun. So this is a great way to take your phone out with your kids, if you have little kids, grandkids, and interact with them, look at things, explore things, and you literally have something pretty much smarter than Einstein in your pocket or on your screen. So today we are sharing the 21 activities just to get you started. There are so many things that you can continue to learn. Pete, can we put that back up? Yep. And learning AI does not have to be something that you just have to, find room for in your day. Do I think you need to find room for it? Yes, it is. I do think intentional learning is great, but you can just incorporate it into things that you're doing. And so find those things during the day that you could be like, oh, what about this? If you're playing a game with your kids, doing cards, make it a player. See if it can play the game with you. It can do really interesting things, and you can have fun with it. Cooking, watching shows. It is not Google search. It is an intelligent machine that can interact with you. And we love showing people how they can be more productive. We love also, Pete and I we want to help you learn how to adapt to all the changes that are happening because of this. And that is one of the main reasons that we have come together to talk or to present our Adapt Edge series. Pete, what's up? What's left?
Great. That was a wonderful ride, Sandra. We have a QR code in here if you'd like to snap a photo of this now to download this guide, which is powerful. Print it out. I've got it sitting on my desk, and I do work on it over time. If you don't do this now, that's okay. Hopefully you've participated in the past. We do send out what we call edge notes, which is a summary of all the activities and things that we're talking about to give you yet another opportunity in the flow of your work on a different day, perhaps in a different space, to still benefit from these key insights. So we're going to close with that point. No need to add more to your plate. Do not feel burdened. Feel some urgency about staying up to or ahead of the curve, or if not, just not too far behind of AI, because it's an exciting space and moving quickly. But make sure you integrate it into the flow of your work and your life. And Sandra, I love the examples that you brought up that are fun, whimsical. This doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be boring. And when you do that, it's guaranteed to happen. So looking forward to next week. As you know, we're here every Friday, August 15th, middle of the month. We are going to go deeper into the framework of Adapt to Accelerate. And we're going to talk about the very simple and basic frameworks of change, understanding there is a well-documented in research cycle of change that we all go through, and it is emotional and it's practical. And then with that, begin to introduce a very simple framework of how you may lead change at work and in your personal life. So join us for that. We want to thank you again for being here today. Please share, invite others to attend. And with that, have a great weekend. We'll see you next week, folks.
Thanks, everyone. I'm putting the links in the chat in our LinkedIn.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.